Well, welcome everybody. Josh Denne here with our live Wednesday evening secret webinar. And I know there's people that have logged in from all over the world. We're excited that you're on. We have a very special webinar planned for you this evening. Of course, we were just coming out of an incredible experience with the Black Friday event. Many people had the best week of probably their financial life just this last week, certainly in secret. But we've got Mr. John Malott on with us tonight, and I know many of you are going to want to ask questions, and if you do, there's a box below you there. If you've logged into the basicagenttraining.com platform, you can go ahead and ask your question. If you would, though, type in your name so we know who you are. Of course, you don't have to. It's an option. But if you just type in anything, we are not going to know who it is that's asking the question unless you want us to. And by doing that, typing your name and will help. I know there's a lot of people that have probably been asked by a friend or family member or colleague, hey, check this out. Take a look at what Secret's doing. You got to see what's going on with a business I'm involved with. Maybe they're too excited. I certainly was when I first really engaged here with this company. But we're going to share with you a little bit about why that is, why they're excited, and why you probably should be excited with them, if anything else, just to support them in their business endeavor. And perhaps you find an opportunity for yourself to achieve success, because many people, not just in North America where this webinar is targeted, but all over the world, Australia, Korea. Let me unplug that. That's a new addition to the family household. Got a landline just because the cell phone doesn't work so well. Anyway, we've got such great things happening. Let's see, is John Malott, are you on with us? Well, we're waiting for Mr. John Malott to log on. Let's see here. Let me just send a little quick message. Imagine he'll be here with us any moment. All right, send that over there. I see that little spot where he should be, but anyway, just to give you a couple quick things. I know there's a lot of new rank advancements, a lot of people earning a tremendous fortune in the last week. And for those that missed it, the Black Friday event is something where Secret does something once a year where they discount their prices like every other retailer out there, just a little bit, but it's enough to create a pretty significant frenzy. Everyone loves Secret products, whether you're an actual agent or you're an existing customer or consistent VIP customers, we call them. There's not a person I've met that doesn't like the Secret product, comparable to any other product on the shelf anywhere in the world, or any mall in the world, or any retail shop for that matter. When people get Secret products, they experience them, they love them, and more often than not, they continue to buy them. And so this Black Friday event is designed to help more people experience Secret than would probably do at any other time, because they're going to be able to buy some at a discount, they buy some as gifts, they give them out, and the feedback is absolutely extraordinary. I'd imagine it's going to be much bigger this year than it was last year, but last year was amazing. So many people ended up becoming agents and becoming consistent VIP or preferred customers because of getting the gifts for the holiday season, and we've done it again this year. This was a massive event. Of course, you probably heard some of the incredible announcements on last night's, last Sunday's vision call. All right, here we go. We got the John Malott, the one and only John Malott. Say hi, John.
Hey, Josh, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, brother. I'm glad you're on. Everyone's anxiously excited to hear some of the things you have to say. Obviously, I know you're making a massive run to Crown Royale. We're eagerly anticipating the next Crown Royale in the company, and I know you and Tiffany are making a massive run for that amazing accomplishment. We're all cheering for you. We're all contributing and wanting to help. But tell me, John, you've been involved in the profession for a while. Some people are new to Secret that are listening in, and obviously a lot of people have logged back in to hear the continuation of your training prior to the revolution. So maybe if you wouldn't mind to share your quick background and a little bit about why you chose Secret.
Sure, appreciate that, and thank you for having me on the call tonight, or webinar, I guess. You know, my background is it's I guess a little colorful. I don't have all the things that society says you're supposed to have to be successful. I don't have a college degree. I do not have a high school diploma, and you know, because you know how society has a way of kind of putting people in boxes. You know, it could be the color of your skin, it could be your gender. In my case, it was my lack of education. I ended up doing exactly what society expected from a 10th grade dropout. I found myself, you know, behind on life. I found myself, you know, struggling to keep up with the big mouth promises I made to family, friends, and bill collectors. I was getting nowhere very, very fast, and you know, I was you know what was out there. I didn't have the credentials, I didn't have the contacts, and of course I didn't have the money. But I was fortunate. On accident, I was introduced to a world-class entrepreneur who introduced me to the profession of relationship marketing, and really taught me that, you know, my past does not have to equal my future, and started to teach me the principles of entrepreneurship and the fundamentals of leadership. And of course, you know, I got involved in relationship marketing, and things started to change, you know, pretty rapidly for me. The profession, you know, didn't care. It was truly an equal opportunity. It didn't care what my background was, didn't care what my education, color, skin, none of that mattered. And it didn't happen right away, but what it did more than anything for me is it gave me hope. It gave me belief that, you know, I wasn't going to be stuck pushing a broom because of my education, because of my background. I did exactly what society expected from a 10th grade dropout. I found myself working at the General Electric, you know, plant as a custodial engineer. You know, we all have titles. You know, simply put, I could sweep a mean floor, I guess. I was a janitor, and I did that, and because of that box that society put me in, you know, what else are you going to do as a 10th grade dropout? That's what is expected. And I found myself very frustrated, but the profession gave me hope more than anything in the beginning, because it didn't give me a lot of money in the beginning. Because what I love now about our profession, which I didn't appreciate as much back then, what I love now about it is that you truly get out of it what you put into it. In other words, there is no brown nosing to a position. There is not you know, who you're connected to a position. It's not based on if your dad is this person or that person or your pedigree. None of that really mattered. What really mattered is if you were willing to put in the time, the energy, the resources, the work, that you could get a return. And at first, that's not so exciting. At first, you know, when you get involved in a business like that, and you still can't pay your bills necessarily, you know, and your family and friends are laughing at you, you know, that's difficult. But what I caught on to, and what I started to see, I saw so many people that were just like me that were having success. The difference was that they had a little time on me. They had a year or 2 years or 5 years, or some people 10, 15, 20 years. And I started to realize, matter of fact, a mentor taught me, that if another man or another woman could do it, then you could do it, then I could do it. And I think the difference between me and a lot of people that maybe quit early on, two reasons. Number one is that I really bought into it. I really believed that okay, if they could do it, then I could do it. I really truly believed that. And the other thing is, for me, the alternative was just not acceptable. To go back to what I felt was being on my knees, you know, dancing, you know, to someone else's drum, and sacrificing my character, sacrificing my time, my health, my energy to build someone else's dreams at the expense of mine. That wasn't acceptable anymore. So it did take a lot longer than I expected. You know, one time I went to a seminar one time, and Les Brown said, he said, "Jump and the net will appear." Man, I jumped, and I must have bounced off the pavement, Josh, like 15 times before the net actually appeared. So it was a painful process, but what I realized, it was a necessary process. It was there is no return without an investment, and I think we've become a society where we all want the prize, but we don't want to pay the price. We all want the big fancy house and the cars, and we want all this stuff, but we don't want to do what's necessary. We see the MTV Cribs show, and we want to live in Master P's house, but we don't want to do the work that's required to get to that point. Or for my people, you know, Wayne Newton's house, the equivalent. And but basically what happened is I stayed in the game long enough. And I really focused on personally developing, becoming better, because I was a complete mess. I was so far behind that I had to personally develop, and I focused on on the books. I focused on the audios. I focused on the associations, all the things that we teach today. And even though it took a long time, I realized that that time was necessary because I don't think the universe is going to open up and allow you to lead people, allow you to have the things that you're wishing for until you're truly worthy of those things. I mean, God knew, back then, don't give me what He's given me today, because I would have, I would have been in Vegas, bet it all, put it all on the line. Let's bet the house, the kids, the whole bit. And He knew that I had to go through a transformation myself, and that transformation took a long time. And then, of course, about I don't know what it was, 3.5 years ago, I got the call from you that completely changed my life. We had been in preparation for about 17 years, almost 17 years, leading up to the phone call that you placed. And thank God, by the way, that you did place that phone call, because that phone call set so many things in motion. And when you called and you knew I was hungry, you knew I was looking for something, you knew that I was in a situation where the people we cared about weren't winning, and it was time for us to make a change. That change happened, and the rest is history. We got involved in secret. It was a little bit of a challenge, because when you said it was skincare, I was like, Josh, come on, man. I cannot roll a pink Cadillac. I can't be touching on my buddies and putting stuff on them. I was like, man, you almost had me. I was almost there. I was ready, but that threw me off. And then, of course, when you introduced us to Isaac, and we sat down with Isaac, and he broke it down, that what we're doing is not about makeup. It's not about cosmetics. It's about the health of the skin. And of course, the Dead Sea story and what they had already accomplished up to that point, the spirit of the family, the commitment of that family, all those things just made sense. Matter of fact, and I'll say this, and I apologize, because Josh, once I get going, it's hard for me to turn it off. The spirit of the family, I had this checklist of what I know for a fact after 20 years of being in this profession. I know for a fact, I don't know a whole lot, but 20 years of experience has taught me exactly what it takes to build a legacy company, to build a long-term company that will withstand the test of time, a company that's about significance, a company that one day, our kids, will be running, our kids will be benefiting from. And so as I looked around the profession that we were in, it was very difficult for me to every company had one or two of those checks, but it was the first time I could check off one after another. Okay, yes, the product is being sold for less than it is in the mall. We're not front-loading people with all kinds of stuff that they got to inventory in their garage. So I had all these check marks, check after check after check. The opportunity was had the potential to go global, check, and the leadership had integrity and character, not because they say it, because every leader says they have integrity and character, but after meeting the people that they had been doing business with for 13 years before I showed up, I was like, okay, we can check that one, and all these things. Anyhow, so that's why, and that's how we ended up in secret, and it's been, mind-boggling to. Well, I don't know. I don't know what you've told the audience here today, but the lifestyle is completely different. Never have we earned this type of income. But our story is not the important story. Never have we had so many people winning. We've never had so many people earning in excess of 6 figures, part-time from home on a regular basis. So that's why we're here and excited to be here, and it's just amazing.
I'm glad that you bring it up, and obviously I'm beyond happy that that you maintained my friendship, and it's amazing how just being a friend can go such a long way. And John, you're one of the people that no matter what, when the chips are down, you're there, you're a friend, and making that call not only changed your life, it changed my life too, changed my life, my wife's life, my kids' lives, and so many other people because of your dedication. That's kind of what I want to get to. It's the dedication. The work ethic, obviously, those things are paramount to success in any endeavor. But what is it precisely that you did to get to where you got to? Because obviously, you're at $1 million, almost $2 million a year now in income. That's significant. You're bordering on almost 100 people at a 6-figure income, several millions now because of what you've done. And I think what a lot of people are asking is, well, how do I do it? And is there enough time? Can I do it? Did I miss the boat? Or can I do what you did? And if so, what is it?
And I apologize, Josh, because for some reason I'm only getting every other word from you, but I think I've pieced together what you said. Are you hearing me okay?
I hear you perfectly, but your video comes in choppy. But your words are perfect.
Okay. Well, people are better off not seeing me anyways. I don't want to throw anybody off tonight, but basically, I think that's the question for everybody. Can I do it? It is um, where I think most people find themselves, especially when you're starting something new. Anything new. Anything new is uncomfortable. By the way, matter of fact, I heard it one time said that if you're not doing something new, then you're not growing. And if you're not growing, then of course you're the opposite of that. And what we've done here is we've created a very systematic approach to building a business. And here's what I mean. McDonald's sells burgers, lots and lots of burgers, billions and billions served. But nobody considers McDonald's like a great hamburger. Nobody sees McDonald's as this amazing gourmet experience. What McDonald's sells more than anything is a simple system that converts customers into cash for their franchise owners. And what I realized in our profession, now we could say all day long that we've got the best products, which we do. We could say all day long we've got the best leadership, which we do. We got the best opportunity, which we do. All this stuff that we have the best. But here's a challenge. Everybody says they have the best. Matter of fact, there are people that will look you in the eye and lie right to your face and say they have the best this, the best that, knowing that what they're selling is crap. I mean, it's just the way it is. And I think the world has become smart enough to realize that there's a lot of bamboozling that goes on in the world, not just in our profession. It's in real estate, it's in cars, it's in you name it. And the reason why I bring this up is because what I realized that what we do, and the reason why anybody can succeed inside a secret, is because we figured out, yes, we do have the best of all these things, but we don't have to go around and say all that, number one, because first off, we always put our money, our resources, our energy where our mouth is. We can truly demonstrate. Matter of fact, the Ben Shabbat's demonstrated these products for, 12, 13 years before we ever showed up, and moved about $1 billion, that's with a B, $1 billion worth of these products in the most adversarial place on the planet. The kiosk in the mall. Nobody goes to the mall to go to the kiosk. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm trying to get to Victoria's Secret. I'm trying to get to the Apple Store. I'm not making eye contact with the kiosk operators, but to move $1 billion in that environment, they knew they had to have something high-end, high quality. More importantly, they had to capture our attention within seconds. Now that's big, that's huge. So we've already proven that we've got products that will move in a very tough scenario to the tune of $1 billion. The marketplace always decides your fate anyways. You can lie all day long and say you have the best products on the planet, and that might work for a while. You might get a couple-year run out of that. You might even explode for a minute because you can build big on a lie. But at some point, that lie collapses. The BenchBots for over a decade built by saying, look, we're not even going to talk. Half these people that came here couldn't even speak English. So it was like, let me show you. Slap this on your face, and the clothes, it was very difficult to deny. The second part, that when you showed up and brought us, that's been put in place, is a very systematic approach. Now, we're doing the same thing McDonald's is doing, is I can go to a brand new person, I don't care who you are, school teacher, engineer, professional athlete, non-salesperson, non-entrepreneur, non-business building person, and I can say, look, I'm going to teach you a very systematic approach to turning customers into cash for you and your family. And with a step-by-step system, we have something called S4S. That's a four-step process. We don't have to go into that tonight, but it's something that I can sit down with someone and say, of course, we got all this stuff, and we're demonstrating it, putting our money where our mouth is, but we also have a system to turn customers into cash flow, which, of course, cash flow turns into happy faces. Happy faces builds morale. Morale then gets people talking about us in a positive light. Positivity attracts more people. More light shines down upon us. And then, of course, the cycle continues and over and over and over and over. And so what we've been able to do in every area, we have a very systematic approach to everything we do. From, you know why you can do it? If there's a school teacher at home right now who's never sold anything in his life or her life, you know why you can do this? Because I got a very systematic approach that allows you to be who you are. You continue doing the important job of teaching while we teach you a very systematic approach, something you can do in your part-time, your spare time. And at some point, when your part-time income here exceeds your full-time income there, now you live in a world of I choose to, no longer in a world of I have to. And then you can make decisions. Now, you may say, I love what I do, so you may continue doing that. It's just too bad we don't pay some of these people the way we should pay them. But in secret, you will always be paid what you're worth. Always be paid what you're worth. In the beginning, that's not so great news. But down the road, as you become more valuable, as you're delivering great service, as you're truly teaching people a systematic approach to building a business, you can't help but end up like Josh Denne, making over $1 million a year inside of Secret. So anybody can do this because we've got what we say we have. But on top of that is we've done what McDonald's has done by putting a very simple, systematic approach to building a secret business that really truly turns customers into cash. And the customers love it, and of course the agents love it as well.
And I love how you say that, because it's right, and it's right on the money. That's 100% true. And getting to that system, we were talking a little bit about it earlier, John, about the wow party, and that's the system. And you alluded to it in your story earlier about, hey, skincare, I don't know about this. I know I felt the same way. But perhaps you can explain a little bit more about this wow party, how it came to be, and really, how do I, what is it really? If I'm new and I'm just looking at this, and I think I have to do one of these, I may be a little hesitant. But John, I think you had a great answer earlier, and I'd love you to share that with everybody.
Okay. I think you were asking, I apologize, I just text Jason, so maybe he can help me figure out what's going on my screen here. But what we did with the Wow Party system was something that I love, because it was, at first I was very hesitant on this whole home party deal, until, of course, as a business person, I started to study our profession, and I saw, what Warren Buffett did with Pampered Chef. I mean, he bought Pampered Chef, from a lady that was a home economics teacher who built this $600 million powerhouse by getting in people's homes and saying, look, let me not do what everyone else is trying to do, and that's pitch you on something, that's sell you on something. Because, by the way, nobody wants to be sold, but everybody loves to buy. And again, people are sick and tired of people hyping them and trying to sell them stuff, and we're guarding our wallets the way we should guard them today, because there's been so much of that crap. But Warren Buffett buys Pampered Chef, and he said, the reason why I bought Pampered Chef, when there were other companies doing about the same amount of revenue, some companies even had more momentum, it seemed, inside of our profession. But he said he bought Pampered Chef. Why he was so interested in Pampered Chef? Because of the objective benefits that Pampered Chef clearly demonstrated. They went in and they said, look, we're going to show you, we're going to prove to you that what we have is the best. We're not going to say it. We will say it, or we can say it, but let us prove it to you. Let us, seeing is believing. Feeling, experience, touching is believing. And what we did with the Wow Party concept, which I loved, is we said, look, don't take my word for it. Come and check it out. Now here's a little different concept. That, like, people say, well, how do I invite someone to a Wow Party? I'll just tell you what I do. You could say, come over and get a facial. Now, for me, if I called you up 5 years ago and said, hey, Josh, you want to come to my house and I can give you a facial, you might not have gotten so excited about that. Or if I said, hey, Josh, come to my house so I can pamper you, you might have been a little freaked out. I would have had to definitely do some explanation behind that. But me as a business person who, again, really appreciates the McDonald's distribution story that became a $40, $60 billion global powerhouse, I said, I need distribution points. So when I'm inviting someone to experience our products, I'm actually inviting them to a business opportunity. By the way, don't think you can disguise it these days. If people are being invited to somebody's house, they already know you're inviting them because you want them to be part of your business. Some people, they try to disguise that fact, and then, of course, the people don't show up because they know, you're trying to pitch them on a business. I would rather just tell people, look, we got a business opportunity. Blow you away. The beauty of ours is I'm going to come to the house, or you're going to come to my house, and I'm going to show you some products. I'm going to show you some things you've never seen. So you get my point. And then the other thing is, because I was so concerned about, you know, the whole makeup and touchy-feely and giving people facials and all that wasn't my thing. We never touch anybody. I have a pet peeve. We don't touch anybody. You know, if I'm sitting down with somebody, they put the product on themselves. They do what they would have to do in their own home anyhow. I'm already in a way, I don't want to say programming, but I'm already teaching them how they would use the secret products when they get home. They're already getting conditioned to use it. They'll know exactly what to do because they say, "Oh, I did that already." And we create this environment where we can truly show them objective benefits. And of course, you know, our products have instant results, which just doesn't happen in our profession. But the reason we're getting together is not just to experience our products, which is wonderful, fantastic, and you'd be blown away. It's because we're 3.5 years new, and we are doing what McDonald's did when they were 3.5 years new. We are setting up distribution point after distribution point after distribution point. My goal is to have billions and billions served, distribution point after distribution point after distribution point. How do we do it? We follow the Ben Shabbat model. How do they do it? They came to America, couldn't speak the language, had no contacts, a bunch of people from another country, and what do? They showed people the products. Now we have something that they never had. They had to go and take a big investment and go open up another retail outlet. Our investment is what, $1,500, $1,500, and we can open up another distribution point and get this thing moving like it's never moved before. And so that's what I love it. I love that we've made it universal, we've made it unisex, we've made it comfortable so that anybody can do it. There's nothing weird, there's nothing, you know, corny, you know, because that's what people are asking themselves. They're saying, can I do what this person just did, or would I do? Some people say, well, I could do that, but it's kind of weird. It's kind of, you know, not my style, and they won't do it. And that's why I say we keep everything. So we use the flip book. Matter of fact, I keep everything systematic because my agents can then pull off that flip book right off of the secret back office, or they can download it and put it right on their iPad and just flip through, and just point. And then they never look like they're brilliant, which, by the way, this may shock a lot of people. We want everyone to dumb it down in that environment and say, look, I don't know, but this is the deal. The Dead Sea is 1,300 feet below sea level. Look at this, Cleopatra, you know, said, or whatever, you know, and we flip through it real quick. We go through the minerals and just a little bit on that. Then we say, look, all I know is the best way is let's slap some of this on. Let's try it. Let's feel it, see it, smell it, experience it, and then educated people, smart people, we can make a business decision based on the objective benefits of the products the same way Warren Buffett made the decision to buy a Pampered Chef. Hopefully that's what you asked me, Josh.
No, it is. It's exactly what I asked you, brother. I mean, exactly. And you know what's interesting is, you know, I'm looking at the numbers, and you know, obviously you've built a massive organization with just, you know, tens of thousands of customers. But interestingly, there's so many more customers that are there over agents. You know, like just last week alone, you did like almost 1,750 customers. Just new. That's new customers, not the existing book, but the new customers. And you know, that stemmed on the Black Friday situation, of course. And now, with all that volume and all of that business that was done last week, there's some exciting promotions for between now and the end of the year for people to take advantage of to really maximize their earning ability. And if maybe you could just take us through some of that stuff that if I'm new I can do now, or if maybe I'm an agent and I did well, what do I need to do now between now and the end of the year to get the most out of this month's promotion?
You know what, Josh? Secret is ridiculous, and of course I mean that in a great way. It's the Ben Shabbat family that blows me away, because when I first came, of course, I came skeptical, like we all do, and we probably all should. But after sitting down with Isaac Ben Shabbat for, I don't know, 7 hours grilling him, you know, I really started to catch on, you know, who this guy was and what he was about, and it was very different. He for sure was very different than most of the other CEOs I'd ever met and other leaders in high positions I had met in other companies that were trying to recruit us into their deals. And the reason I say that is because it led to what's happening in secret today, and what you're talking about, the ability to do something magical during this time of the year. See, in November, in relationship marketing in general, it's usually shutdown time. It's usually there's not much you can do. You know, by the time you get to Thanksgiving, of course, the tryptophan is kicked in. You know, nobody's going to buy your shake. You know, nobody's going to, buy, whatever it is for. They're not going to put it in the stocking stuffer. It's not going to be a gift under the tree for their children. Just, you just kind of shut down. Most relationship marketing companies. And what the Ben Shabbat family did is they did two things. Number one, they put together a solution-oriented company, a company that was truly providing solutions for people. And so for them, they rocked throughout the entire year, but come November, come Thanksgiving, they exploded. Like Black Friday was massive, of course, because they had products that people were going to the mall and buying in that environment. And for twice the price that we're now moving inside the network, by the way. We don't even have to touch on that right now. But that was the beginning of a massive, massive rush. And then they had products that people continued to purchase right up to the day the guy in the red suit shows up. The people were buying these products like crazy as gifts for other people. This is a big deal. This is very unusual in relationship marketing. You think about it, if you're listening on this webinar right now, think about if anyone's ever given you a gift from a relationship marketing company in the past, you probably would have did the SMH type thing. You've been like, what? What? Wow, this is interesting type thing. And it just doesn't happen. People know better because it would almost be an insult. But here we have these products that are just so universally accepted, and they are so attractive to people, and they have everything that we need. So that's the first part. But the second part is then the Ben Shabbat family said, this is our biggest time of the year. We now give this to you guys in relationship marketing. But on top of that, we're going to give you additional incentives that we didn't have before, because the Ben Shabbats have had a track record before we ever showed up of truly sharing the wealth. That it is the Ben Shabbat's mission to share the wealth, and they proved that for 13 years. So it wasn't lip service; they actually did it. But now watch. So now this Black Friday, before we had all these incentives going up to Black Friday, and it was fantastic. And some of us had our biggest days, our biggest weeks ever in our entire life. I had Casey and Elena call on one of our calls recently, and I think last year they had like $130,000 week, for Black Friday. I mean, it's hard to comprehend, that type of week, or, what's possible. But then we have people that have never been in our profession before saying that they made enough on that day that they didn't have to take on that second job, through the holidays. They made enough on that day that they truly could spend the time with the people they loved. And anyhow, you get the point. But the Ben Shabbats in the past, they gave us this amazing thing up to Black Friday, but then we didn't know what to do. So we went from Black Friday to Black Hole. From Black Friday to Black Hole, because we didn't know what to do. A lot of us made so much money, we just went into, hangout mode. But what Isaac and the bench are brilliant, and what they came up with was this year, say, look, this year we brought in, I believe it's over 3,500 customers, just Black Friday. Just think about that for a second. 3,500 people bought Secret, not because there was a business attached to Secret, but because of the objective benefits of the product, because of the merits of the products, because the products stand on their own. Now that's big in and of itself. 3,500 customers. So Ben Shabbat says, well, look, Isaac Ben Shabbat says, look, 3,500 customers. They already have a commitment to the company. They already believe in the company. What if we say, right after Black Friday, we can convert those customers, they can become secret agents at no cost to them. There's no cost. If they invested over $150 inside a Secret, they can now become an agent for free. I mean, just think about this for a second. These people already get Secret. Now we go back to them and say, guess what? How would you like to have a tax deduction for 2014 that you wouldn't have had prior to meeting me? How would you like to have one of the hottest businesses on the planet, thanks to what we're doing today because of your commitment to Secret. Now, Secret is making a commitment to you. How would you like to have a system that converts customers into cash flow for you and your family? And we, all the points that we continue to talk about, I can keep going on and on. And you're already seeing what's happening. So this year, instead of going from Black Friday to Black Hole, we've gone from Black Friday. I was on a call. Isaac jumped on our call Monday night, and he said we were already up 15% on Monday, and we hadn't even, it was like 7 o'clock on Monday. We've figured out that these customers, they want opportunity. They need opportunity. We've got the best opportunity on the planet, and now the company has given us incentive. And on top of that, they said, okay, it's not just for the customers, which is easy for us because we can create campaigns and we can laser focus people on a specific task. And by the way, if you're a leader on this call or you want to become a leader, what you want to be able to do to lead a massive group of people is get very good at creating campaigns that break everything down to its lowest common denominator, that give people very simple task-oriented, process-oriented activity, where you're saying, okay, here's exactly what you do. Then when you do that, here's exactly what you say. Then when you say that, there's only 1 or 2 choices that the prospect can say. So when they say this, then here's exactly what you say or exactly what you do. And because we teach that, we teach a system that converts customers into cash flow for our distributors. We now go to these customers and say, I've got a cash flow machine that we've already built for you that we're giving you for free. So that's the first part. But then my thing, I was telling everybody, over the next 48 hours, next 24 hours, go crazy and go back to those customers. But what about the people that maybe didn't get customers on that day? The company said, well, look, it's no problem. They get the free registration as well if they get a premium package or a special agent package. By the way, we all know they need the product. Our model is built on demonstration. Now, I don't go to those people and say, hey, becoming an agent is free. Because then if I say that, by the way, maybe this will help somebody, watch your language. Because if I go to someone and say you can become an agent for free, then in my next breath I say, all you got to do is give me $550 or $1,500. They are now thinking I'm trying to scam them. You know what I'm saying? I had somebody call me up and say, well, my brother-in-law said I was trying to scam him. I said, well, tell me what you said. Well, he said that it was free, but he couldn't get the free unless he did the $550. So I said, listen, do you hear yourself? If I called, now I know you and me, we're excited about free registration. We know what a big deal that is for someone to become a business owner inside of Secret. But your brother-in-law still don't get it yet. And so when you word it like that, now all of a sudden he's like, okay, you're just trying to get $550 out of me when I got to buy Christmas gifts for my kids this week. So what I'm saying is, first off, we have to be very, we have to think what the other person is thinking, what the prospect is thinking, what the customer is thinking. We don't want to go to a customer even and say, look, you invested $150 on products for your family. Now you can become an agent for free, but you can't be successful unless you drop $550 or $1,500 with me right now. Because they're going to think the same thing. So what we say is we get them in, we get them registered. Then you know what I do? I go right into the S4S because I got to get them started properly. What's the first thing we do in step 1 of S4S? You got to have a package. I'm telling them, here's how you're successful. Here's how you turn your business that converts customers into cash flow into your house now. We get you a package, and the next step is 2 wild parties, 3 people. You guys get all this. So I'm taking a long time, on this particular topic because the company gave us this amazing gift to go out there and set up distribution points like we've never set up during a time of year when people know they need it more than any other time of the year. Someone says to me, look, just give me until the beginning of the year. Why would you wait until next year when I can get you a tax break for this year? You start talking to professionals. You start talking to business people. You start talking to people that understand the term ROI, return on investment. These people will catch on very quickly how important it is to make a decision now, to join this team now, to become part of what we're now. I once heard it said that successful people make decisions very quickly and they change their minds very slowly. And I heard that unsuccessful people, they take forever to make decisions, and then once they finally make a decision, they're constantly changing their mind. So during this time frame, I'm looking for the best of the best. I'm looking for the sharpest, the brightest, and that's why I love the fact that we can convert 3,500 customers right now into secret agents. They already get it. They're going to be easy to talk to. They're going to be easy to convert. They're going to be excited about what we're offering. And then you tie in one final thing I'm going to say, Josh, and I apologize for going off here because I love what we're doing as a company. There's activity, I've been saying it over and over, that we're teaching people a process. People, products, process. People, products, process. People, products, process. You drill it into your brain. That's how you build a massive business. We now have this process, the S4S system. We have a very streamlined, simple system that we can teach everybody. But watch how brilliant the Ben Shabbat family are. They said, what if we give people an incentive to actually do the process? Like McDonald's doesn't pay you extra to follow their system. Matter of fact, they tell you if you don't follow the system, we'll just take your McDonald's away from you. You can't bring your mother's special sauce in to your McDonald's franchise. I don't care how many millions you spent for it. Don't mess with the system. Secret says, we're going to give you an incentive to follow the system that is proven, that works. If you do it, it'll work. Will it work the first time? Yes, maybe not. You know, maybe your brother-in-law, you know, who hasn't worked in 15 years and probably isn't going to work, maybe the system doesn't work on him either at this point. But my point is, we're teaching people to follow this system. And then the company says, we're going to give incentives inside of the activity. I don't know who does that. This is, we have a promotion right now inside the S4S that actually is paying people and giving people double bonuses. And you guys know there's these incentives that go along with the activity that drives the whole deal, that produces the revenue, that generates the commissions, that makes the happy faces, that ups the morale, that gets people producing more. I don't, you know, it's so ridiculous to me. So anyhow, the Ben Shabbats are just ridiculous and amazing. And so I love that now I can take a brand new person and say, here's the system, but guess what? Right now, for right now, we get rolling. You're not only going to get paid on the results, which every company will pay you on the results. Of course, we're paying a little bit more on those results, but let's not even talk about that. You're, of course, going to get paid on the results, but watch this. We're going to also pay you on the activity that you're going to do to generate the results. I mean, I want to throw the mic down right now and kick over a speaker or something, Josh. Crazy to me.
You know, I'm bewildered by this as well. I mean, we've got this December, you know, to remember, as it will, and this, you know, free enrollment for premium and special agent packages between now and I believe it's December 7th. Is that right, John? December 7th?
Yeah, that's of course the deadline's coming up fast. We're running out of time. That's December 7th. That's it. That's all she wrote.
And that's the, you know, that, guys, that's an excuse. I mean, look, the ideas, we're giving you excuses to get in front of someone. Always, all these promotions, just, hey, listen. And like, I'm sure John's been a master at this. I learned this from him a long time ago about when you're getting in front of people to say, hey, is it okay if I keep you informed? Is it okay if I keep you informed? If they say yes, they say no, it doesn't matter. Is it okay if I keep you informed? Now you have something to keep them informed about. Hey, look, right now you get in and you don't have to pay the extra $49. The company's going to pay it on your behalf as long as you're willing to come in. And then, of course, you got the holiday cheer. You've got Rising Star, Mike. I mean, we got the December to Remember S4S contest, like you just talked about, a challenge. This is the time to get started. And one last thing, John, you know, a lot of people did a lot of volume. And obviously, you know, volume's how you advance. Volume's how you get paid in this business. You know, we did something on the count before. And you know, that system is going away on the 1st. Yeah, obviously we'll be talking more about that, but everything's going to be volume-based moving forward in the new year. And if I just had a good week this last week, isn't it to my best interest to make sure I put the pedal down over the next 3 weeks to advance as high as I can with this volume? You're on mute, brother.
Okay.
Oh,
Can you see me, Josh?
No, I see you perfectly. I heard you. You just had the mute button going.
All right. Can you can hear me now? All right. Can you see me? Okay. Do you see my title underneath my name? Does that show up? Do I have a title? Because I see you have a title. It says Josh Denne, your servant leader.
I thought you were supposed to have one. I don't see one, though, brother. I don't know what happened.
All right, doesn't matter. Anyhow, we'll talk more. I'm getting every other word that you're saying, so I'm hoping that everybody can hear me okay. it's probably on my end because I'm every day I am proof that anybody can do very well in our profession if you just stay in the game, if you stay focused and just never quit. But I heard you say something about volume, and what I can tell you right now is that we are in the skincare consumption business. I mean, that's the business we're in. We're in the skincare consumption business, and of course, when people consume our skincare, then of course that's skincare consumption. And when they exchange their dollars for our skincare, we get paid for that. That's just the basics of the model. It's very simple. The wonderful thing about our skincare is that people become almost addicted. They become almost addicted to our skincare. Matter of fact, I shouldn't say almost addicted. They become truly addicted. I'm addicted. Like, body butter is my drug of choice right now. You know, I am right. If you could see me, and I don't know if you can see me right now, I'm glistening. I'm silky smooth because of my body butter, and I like that. It makes my skin nice, and it's to the point where I'm fanatical, nuts, crazy. I cannot travel. I have to check my bag everywhere I go because I got to carry my stuff, and I can't use hotel soap. I can't use lotions by any off-brand, whatever. And think about this, Josh, for a second. What we're doing is we're creating this massive group of people. And it's not just the agents, because most relationship marketing companies have fanatical agents. They're crazy about what they do. They act like complete wackos about their products. You know, they got it tattooed and they got it on their cars and all that. So we know that. We're fanatical about secret as well. But here's what's crazy, what separates us, is that our customers are fanatic. Those that right now don't benefit financially from what we do, they're saying they're also addicted. That once they switched, they were on Mary Kay for 20 years, and they switched to our products, they will be on secret for the next 20 years. We're talking to guys that their idea was skincare was like my idea. Whatever soap went on my head, that's what went on my body, and I rolled out. We got guys that are saying, look, I've got an age-defying regimen. I can't leave home without it. You know, think about this. These are customers. I just saw, I don't know if you saw Anthony Pettis, the UFC champion of the world right now. This dude is nuts about secret. He was using secret before he became a secret agent. He was just on Black Entertainment Television's 106 in Park. And of all the pictures he could have showed, they put a big picture on the screen. Of all the pictures they could have picked, or he could have picked to show in front of millions of people watching, he picked a picture of him with a secret mud mask on. And to me, it was proof. It's like he says, I cannot use anything but secret. This is what we're building. Look, if it takes 2 years, 3 years, 5 years to build a base like that, that's consuming our skincare, and then all it does is it creates volume, which people are confused. What is BV? All it is volume. It's a numeric value we place when a transaction takes place. And by the way, that BV allows us to do business on a global scale all over the world, because currency is different all over the world, but BV can remain a constant and make it very simple for us to build a global business. We got people all over the world saying the exact same thing. They get hooked on secret. They love secret. They buy more secret. They tell friends about secret, and it creates this perpetual money machine for those of us that choose to participate in the distribution model that we just started 3.5 years ago. And that volume that you're generating is not difficult to do if you're thinking in terms of, look, I just got to get another person hooked. I got to get another person. How do I get them hooked? Nothing. I don't have to pitch them. I don't have to sell them. We'd have no crazy story about, we got this special nutrient and that we put it in Dr. Zhivago's laboratory and he creates a new nutrient and some atoms came together and now we got this explosion of goodness that only we have, but then you read the ingredients, you find out everybody has that same whatever. We have a real proprietary product delivered from a place that's been written about for 5,000 years, a true story that's been told for 5,000 years. We're delivering to people what millions of people are trying to get access to by traveling to this place. Anyhow, so it creates volume, which creates the revenue, which you know the story, creates this cycle that makes a lot of us very happy. And we haven't even, look, Josh, we haven't even brought the biggest income earners in yet. The fastest horses are not even on the track yet. That's what's crazy to me. We see Korea comes in. Koreans go crazy for our products. Do you know what the rest of the world is going to do when we unleash this beast? You know what this thing looks like in 5 years from now? For those that get serious. So look, what could you do in 5 years? I'm not saying, look, I know maybe you can't quit your job today, but you can start to put a system in place that we teach, that we show you step by step what to do. You can start putting that in place, start getting comfortable with it, start working on yourself, start building something on a part-time basis, and it will not be long before your part-time income exceeds your full-time income. We've already talked about this. But all of a sudden, your business starts to grow in spite of you, not because of you. Most relationship marketing companies, if that leader wasn't there, that thing would not grow. I know for a fact that if I was not here, my business would continue to grow. Matter of fact, we put a system in place to ensure that it's going to grow in spite of me, not because of me. You know what I'm saying, Josh? One day I'm going to be hanging out on the beach half naked eating organic chickens. That's my long-term goal. But I'm willing to pay the price right now because my grandmother used to say it best. She said, make hay while the sun is shining. And the sun is shining on secret. You cannot deny it. You might not like it if you happen to be our competition, but you cannot deny what we have here is very special. It's very unique. It's relevant to the times. It's solution-oriented, and it's attractive on a global scale because of the Dead Sea story and because of the Ben Shabbat family. So hopefully that answers your question. If not, it's what I wanted to say anyways.
That was perfect. That was perfect, John. All right, man, look, we have some time for a few questions. Hopefully you can stay on a little bit and answer some of these questions. We have a lot of people on right now, and people are excited. We got Bob Oakes from Seal Beach and the Flynn family, and Brad M. and Luann Hunt Windsor from Ontario, Canada. And she's asking about purchasing through the back office if it counts towards rank advancement. It does, John, am I right? It counts as long as anything over 200 TPV rolls to advance you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And let's see, we've got people signing up like crazy. A lot too many kind comments to say. Let me just scroll down. Okay, here's a question from Paul Caldwell out of Texas. How many WOW parties per week do you teach for your new agents, John?
Did you say how many WOW parties per week do I teach?
Yes, you're for new agents. For new.
I follow the S4S system. It's two. We do 2 parties a week. Matter of fact, that's the launch, and we get that duplicating like crazy. 2 WOW parties, 3. We're working on getting 3 at each one of those parties, and that's what we teach over and over and over. Any part-time person could do that activity.
Exactly. So that's the S4S system. 2 a week, 3 guests per party for the first 4 weeks. Is that right?
Exactly, for the first 4 weeks. So it's that 1, 2, 3. You got to get your package because you need a package, you need products. If somebody like when I'm converting, by the way, I'll tell you this one. If I'm converting customers right now, I'm converting customers from Black Friday. They probably on its way. Maybe they got it by now, but most likely it's still on its way. I'm going to launch them in the business. I'm not going to wait for their product to come. I'm not even if they buy a big package, that product's not going to be here in time for me to do 2 WOW parties this week. So guess what I'm going to do? Because I'm a business person, have made an investment in my own business, I'm going to take my product to help them launch their first couple of WOW parties this week. By the way, if they were not sure about getting a package, guess what happens after they see us do a WOW party? They were like, oh, crap, I can do this. I better get me a package so that I don't have to wait around for you, Mr. Support person, to do my parties for me in the future. So the whole system leads right back into skincare consumption. It leads right back into people having the tools that are necessary. Perfect.
Another question here is, some people say that the holidays are a time when people, aren't interested in anything. How do you get around that obstacle?
Can you write that down and put it up on the screen? Because I didn't hear it.
Just December slow for some people. You know, in the mindset. What do you say to people who say, you know, the holidays are not a time to build?
You know, it's this is not a slow season for Secret. This is prime time. You know, it's you know, I think there's always a sale being made. I don't personally talk about being a salesperson, but I always feel like someone's being sold. Either they're selling me or I'm selling them. You know, it's always that way. You know, when we're talking to our kids, we're either selling them or they're selling me. Unfortunately, in my house, Cody always seems to be on the upper hand, selling us on her craziness. The bottom line is, this company, these products, this is prime time for us. The holidays are prime time for us, and I'm not saying everybody's going to be open, because it wouldn't matter what time of year it is. Not everybody's open at, you know, every single time. But if we're moving quickly, which is what we're supposed to be doing, moving quickly, sorting, not convincing, sorting, not convincing. I'm looking for the people that are open. I'm looking for the people that are open for a business. I'm looking for the people that are open right now to give the people they care about some amazing Christmas presents. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we got some ridiculous, awesome Christmas gifts. And I just heard, I think it was Eve or somebody said that the biggest day every year is not for Secret is not Black Friday. It's actually the day before Christmas. Now think about that. We go crazy for Black Friday, but the company has, you know, 14 years of retailing products before we ever showed up. And their numbers suggest that the day before Christmas happens to be their biggest day. I'm saying there are a lot of people waiting for us to show up to make their holidays season much better. Well, that's, for me, it's always, I think the gift that keeps on giving the best is going to be the business opportunity. But think about how many people are very comfortable with these products right now and could share them with people that they know, love, trust, and show them how they could make the people that they know, love, and trust even happier with these products. So I think it's just time. It's whatever we believe actually will be the reality.
100%. I agree with you. I mean, 100%. Nothing even to add to that. A couple more. We've got time for a couple more, guys. I know your questions keep coming in. We'll make sure that we continue to answer your questions. A lot of these are customer service questions, so please call customer service for this stuff. This is specific to Mr. John Malott. We don't get his time too often, so we have a few more minutes. Let's see here. John, how long were you in? Well, I think you answered this before, but I guess one more time. Matt Hastings is asking how long you were in relationship marketing before the ball really started to roll, and your biggest struggle.
My biggest struggle?
Before you became successful. You know, that biggest struggle.
Oh, it's driving me nuts. I can't hear you. Hey, do I have a banner now? Do you see my banner?
I saw it.
Can you see me now, Josh? Can you see me?
I see you perfectly, brother. I see you perfectly. That's
I got
funny.
a banner. I've been looking at your banner. Every time I watch your webinar, I see Josh Denne, your servant leader. So I had to have a banner as well. So I hope you like my banner.
I love you, brother. You're too awesome.
I love that we can hang out and have fun, man. I love that that you make this comfortable. Because I've been on some of these webinars, because I'm not the most technologically advanced cat on the planet. You know, I'm still old school. Put me on a call and I'm good to go. But I don't even know where to look. Like, I want to look down and look at myself in the picture. But I think if I do that, then I think you're seeing the side of my head. So I have to consciously focus on looking at the camera. You know what I mean? Anyhow, this is it's just a sidebar. People are probably hanging up off the web right now saying, what is wrong with these people? Hopefully you get the picture. If Josh and I can make millions of dollars, well, look, then but anyhow, so I'll keep that as my new banner, my new title from here on out. So
You're too awesome.
I forgot what the question was.
Your biggest struggle, brother. Your biggest struggle before you became successful. My biggest
struggle, I think, was the same as everybody's biggest struggle in the end. It was me. My biggest struggle was myself. My biggest struggle is I lived inside of my own head. My biggest struggle by far, what kept me from being who I could be, what kept me from becoming what I could become, what kept me from accessing that potential that was always inside of me was myself. I was so wrapped up in my head. I was so caught up in what society said I was, who I was, and I replayed all this junk in my brain. I made excuses all the time. I blamed. I criticized. I did all these things that were easily justified back then. But looking back today, I realized that the number one thing that I struggled the most with was myself. You know, who I had been conditioned and programmed to believe I was. And I think this goes for everybody. I don't care if you're the CEO of your company. There's something usually inside of our own heads that keep us from becoming what we could become. And that's it. I took a long time to get over myself. You know, and it was a lot of personal development. It was a lot of training. It was a lot of seeking information. It was a lot of getting around amazing people. It was a lot of changing my associations. I always kept one foot kind of in the hood, and then, so I had one foot in with bad associations, and I always try to keep one foot in with good associations. And that's called straddling the fence, I guess. And you see very few successful fence straddlers. When I finally made the decision to jump in and say, look, I'm going. There was a point where I finally got it. I figured out. Let me give you the secret to success. Those people that are the most successful, if I don't know if you can see, I got this big old desktop, but I have this library behind me. Well, I'm probably going to drop this thing, but I have this library, and if you could see the whole thing, these are books that I've read, and a lot of these books are about some of the greats, the Henry Fords, the Rockefellers, the Bill Gates, the Ray Kroc, who I admire so much, and the Michael Dells. And what I caught? Here's what I caught. The secret was, because they all had a lot of the same philosophies. Most of those philosophies came from Think and Grow Rich, and some of these books that were written a long time ago. A lot of the philosophies actually came from the Bible. And I'm not here to give a religious talk, but I would say, maybe read the Bible for the good, practical, useful information. Don't read it necessarily for the religion. But what I saw is a lot of these people took those same principles. There was a cat named Peter who had some amazing stuff that he talked about back in the day, and a cat named Paul, and a bunch of these guys that put stuff thousands of years ago that over the years, some of these guys like the Fords and the Rockefellers and the Carnegies used, but transformed it into relevant to their times, is the way they delivered it. But here's what I caught from all of them. They all completely sold out. They believed with everything that they had that they were going to the top. Didn't matter. It didn't matter what anyone else said. They said Henry Ford was the craziest wacko on the planet. The dude didn't even make it through 7th grade. But he believed so much in what he was delivering, what he was bringing to the market. It didn't matter that his relatives said he was nuts. By the way, look at the relatives that are benefiting today from what he put together. Sam Walton, if you took all the wealth that his family benefits from today and gave it all back to one person, then that person would be the richest man in the world. What Sam Walton built was crazy, ridiculous, shouldn't have been done, but you couldn't tell him that. Sam Walton completely 100% sold out on what he believed was going to be the greatest distribution story on the planet. And of course, there's very few people today that don't know, Sam's Club or Walmart. So what I'm saying is, what I figured out was, if nothing else, I had to find something, and then I had to sell out. I had to give it every damn thing that I had, day in, day out, that there wasn't a day that I would deviate the day. Look, does that mean had every day was a bright, sunshiny day? No, not at all. There were so many days I wanted to crawl in my bed, suck my thumb in the fetal position, and quit. There were days, Josh, that I did quit. I just didn't quit publicly. I didn't tell anybody else. I quit in my head. I'm like, I'm done with this stuff. But I did not quit for real. And I just kept going and kept going. I sold out completely, top of the mountain or dead on the side of that mountain trying to get there became the philosophy. I'm telling you, this is what you'll find out. If you make that decision to sell out completely on secret, you will be Crown Royale. Because there's only two positions. It's the position when you start and the top position. Why come in for anything else? Why you wouldn't teach your kids to do half-ass? You wouldn't teach your kids to sort of do it. We would teach our kids that, look, if you're going to do something, do it all the way. Give it everything you got. Don't leave anything on the field. And that's kind of that's really and maybe it sounds stupid, but that was the biggest breakthrough for me. was that I had to, in spite of my education, in spite of my background, in spite of my record, in spite of all this stuff, I had to say I am going no matter what. It makes no difference what's in the way. It doesn't make any difference what people say, what they do. Education, it makes no difference. I didn't even know what the heck I was doing. I didn't even know how to do it. I just knew I was going to do it. So anyhow, long explanation for a short question.
No, but that's perfect. It was right on the money. And guys, that's all the time we have today. I want to let you know that next week, and speaking of visionaries, speaking of people who put it out there, and John, you did that. I mean, it's funny you say it's all out massive belief, and I know you had that from the time we sat down with Isaac and saw what he saw, and decided to partner up with him and this company and this family and go out there and make it happen. You charged the field, brother. You really did some extraordinary things. I know we're going to go down in the history books of this company that undoubtedly will be the #1 company in all of direct selling, all of relationship marketing worldwide, and you've helped to pave that foundation. So on behalf of every agent, not just on this webinar, but all over the world, I want to thank you, brother, and let you know that next week we've got our mentor you and I both share, Isaac Ben-Shabbat, who's going to be on this webinar sharing some incredible information. John, you've been hearing from him recently. He's like on a different level right now. Just hearing how he's talking and what he's got to say about the future is remarkable. So any final words on that, and then we'll wrap this up.
No, Isaac Ben-Shabbat. I mean, there's not much more. Isaac hates when I introduce him because he doesn't like all the edification, but it's impossible to not over edify, and it's not over edification. It really is, someone that I love and respect and believe in, and what's crazy is that he feels the same way about me, and what's even crazier, he feels the same way about everybody in secret. I've never met somebody who is so giving of himself and so willing to share. I've learned so much from him, especially in that regard, because I came from an environment where we gave lip service to servant leadership, but what I caught on was that meant I had to serve the leader. And Isaac pointed out very quickly, no, the leader is supposed to serve you. And we work very hard to be that model inside of Secret. It's not easy to do every day, but he does it every single day and doesn't complain about it, doesn't, he's so convinced of where we're going as a company. It's very difficult. And that's one of the things on my checklist was a leader who truly had the heartbeat of the organization, a leader who truly knew where they were going, and we have that. And again, it's one thing to say it if you're new on the call tonight and you've never heard Isaac or you don't know him. A lot of people talk highly about their leadership, so you got to. Isaac is like our products. You have to experience Isaac, and you'll get a chance next week to experience him and all that he's about and what he's doing. We're in the right place at the right time with the right people, and this thing is gonna be massive. It's mind-boggling. I can't even articulate the words anymore to how big Secret is. It's way beyond me. It's way beyond Josh. And Isaac will tell you it's way beyond him as well. What we're creating as a community is something that will withstand the test of time and will be around for our children's children. So that's it, man. I love you, brother. I appreciate you and Cindy. Appreciate you having me on the call. Appreciate all that you're doing. Your banner says it. You are truly a servant leader. I'm working to catch up to you. I'm gonna do my best to serve the way you serve. But I can tell you this: we won't stop. We're in the trenches. One final thing: we believe December is the month to take market share. This is the month where everybody else is sleeping. This is the month when everybody else is, whatever we do during this month. We always took market share while everybody else was in beach mode, while everyone else was in holiday mode, when everyone else was in la-la mode. We always took market share. And when everybody showed up later on, after New Year's resolutions and the credit card bills show up from all the money that was spent during the holidays, they're like, wow, how did they end up there? Well, because we actually worked when most people were playing. And you only have to do that a handful of times. What's crazy, Josh, you only have to do a few runs like that a few times in your lifetime, and you can create a business that is remarkable, a business that is I keep saying ridiculous, but that's the best word I can give you right now. It is amazing. Our lifestyle is beyond belief because of a few runs during times when most people were not running. So that's it, man. I appreciate you. God bless you. Everybody that was on the line today, hopefully you stuck around. I don't know, what do we have, about 5-10 people watching us tonight, Josh? How many people we have tonight?
We had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the place.
Hundreds. Brother. Wow, I love it.
And,
thank you, guys.
You, as always, delivered phenomenally. By the way, the replay will be up shortly. So for those that weren't able to listen, for those of you agents or other people that you want to hear this phenomenal content, that will be up shortly, and it'll be the same link. Okay, up until next week when Isaac replaces it, and then it'll be up in the back office. So make sure that you do that, John. What a privilege. What a privilege. On behalf of everyone, thank you so much for your time, brother. And I look forward to seeing you at Crown Royale, you and Tiffany. We're all cheering for you, brother. And everything, I know all of us are going to be pulling for that to happen. We need a Crown Royale here in North America, at least the first. Let's make that happen, brother.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you guys. Good night. God bless. Now, how do I turn this thing off?
Just press stop broadcast. Love you guys. Bye.